Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so we'll use adrenochrome for any type of medical use that when they, or after they did all these great studies on it. You figured they would.
Well, during current times, adrenochrome really isn't used for anything in the medical field, at least not in the United States much. Synthetic adrenochrome makes for an excellent hemostatic and capillary stabilizing action, which they talk about that in the 1946 study with the rabbit with the frostbitten ear.
Yeah, so their findings from that study spurred the practice of applying oxidized adrenaline, or just adrenaline in general, to incision sites of surgical patients, which kind of sped up the nerve regeneration and healing of that incision site. And from us reading it, it looked like using too much adrenaline could actually damage your body, though. So there's like a fine line they had to like walk. So this could have been like the real reason as to why they didn't really use much, or, you know. And if the nerve regeneration is true or not.
Because, I mean, you think about nerve regeneration, though, that's really difficult to mess with. And that study was in 1946, so if it actually regenerated nerves, why aren't they using that shit now?
Well, here's the thing. If they make it to where humans can regenerate nerves or cells or, you know, anything like that, you cut my arm off, you stick some adrenochrome on it, and all of a sudden I grow a new arm. What do you think the reptilians are going to think? We can't have the humans regenerating arms like we do. They wouldn't allow it.
Is that why their tails grow back so fast?
Yeah. All right. So that pretty much sums up what adrenochrome is. I mean, we kind of gave you the scientific data behind it and the limited amount of studies that were done about it, what it is, what it has done in previous studies, and it's not really used much today.
No.
Except by the elites. So, and it's not illegal. I mean, I found a few sites you could go on and purchase it, but it was synthetic adrenochrome, which supposedly, according to a theory, it's not the same as the real adrenochrome, but we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Speaking of purchasing it, that's actually our first strange fact and finding.
All right. So why don't you tell us about it then, Dan?
Oh, all right. So our first strange fact and finding is about the patents for adrenochrome. As you look up the patents for adrenochrome, which will probably be the synthetic adrenochrome, there are like over 4,000 patents for it. But going to the adrenochrome compound, you can view the chemical vendors for it. And guess who is at the top of that list?
I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on. Bill Gates.
Nope, not Bill Gates.
Clinton Foundation.
No, not him either. Or them.
I don't know.
The Wuhan Corporation, China. The same one that was messing with the coronavirus. What do you think of that?
Oh, there it is. You're right. 3B Scientific Wuhan Corp. Whoa. Okay.
Yep, and then there's the image of them being listed as the #1 chemical vendor. And then underneath that image is another image of where you can purchase the synthetic adrenochrome.
So they created COVID-19 to get more people to create fear in more people so they could produce more adrenochrome.
Dude, I actually thought about that.
Damn. We'll post these pictures up, of course, on our Patreon for you people to go take a look at. Damn, that's crazy, man. You found some crazy stuff on this when looking it up.
Yeah, I didn't expect to find Wuhan involved in this as well, but...
Damn.
I mean, now, not saying that Wuhan's the only vendor for it. There's multiple places that do sell adrenochrome, or a synthetic version, they say. I don't know.
You got a phone number on here? I can give them a call?
I don't know. Their website was very weird, though, because it wanted me to update my Netscape.
What the hell?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not using Netscape.
Yeah, they're going to try to track you, figure out who's looking it up, see if you're a true Illuminati member or reptilian or whatever.
I have multiple VPNs going, so good luck.
Oh, yeah.
They should probably still find me.
All right, so let's talk about our next strange fact and finding, which is about a company called Ambrosia. You know, the food of the gods that helps you with immortality and longevity.
You ever heard of that, Aaron?
No, never heard of that.
Yeah, in Greek mythology, the food of the gods, they would always eat like ambrosia and stuff. It's like it looked like pink jello to me that helps them keep them immortal.
So it's not a real thing?
There is a real food called ambrosia, but it's not like immortal food. It's just like a dessert, I think. It's like named after it.
There you go. Okay, knowledge nugget from Dan right there. Spitting it at us.
Yeah, used to watch a lot of Xena and Hercules, and ambrosia was like one thing.
Xena Warrior Princess?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I used to have a crush on her. Damn. All right, so this company, Ambrosia, is about improving your health. And they want to make you feel young again. But not by eating the foods of the gods, but by the use of blood. Specifically from 16 to 25-year-old human blood. Now, not aged, not like finely aged blood. Like, hey, we got a blood that's over here aged for 25 years. No, this is straight from an individual who is between the age of 16 to 25 years old. It's not as young as we mentioned previously about, collecting adrenochrome, but it is kind of pretty young. 16?
It's right on the border there.
Yeah.
But yeah, what they do is they offer blood transfusions with blood obtained from licensed blood banks within the United States, supposedly to match your blood type, which we did find a clip of the doctor that opened up Ambrosia and what he says about it, which we can watch that, and we'll link that video up for y'all to watch as well.
Okay.
All right, and we'll play that right now.
Hello, my name is Jesse Karmazin, and as you heard, I'm the founder of Ambrosia, and we're a company interested in making you young again. So we all know that we're aging. As we're sitting in this room, we're aging a little bit every day. And even though it's gradual, it builds up. And as we get older, we can't quite keep up and a little more susceptible to illness. Interestingly, there's a number of companies, such as Google and Jeff Bezos, who are interested in understanding aging at the cellular level so that we may be able to reverse it. And that's what we do. Why is this important? Well, as pictured here, the World Health Organization predicts that dementia and other diseases of aging, such as heart disease or diabetes, are going to be skyrocketing over the next 40 to 50 years. And it's true here, but also in the developing world, which is why we need scalable, low-cost, ready treatments. And that's what I'm hoping to talk about. Now, as you heard, this is somewhat of an old idea. In the 1950s, Professor McKay at Cornell decided to sew together two mice. He took an old and a young mouse, and when they were sewn together, he found that the old mouse, which received the blood of the young mouse, became young again. So its gray hair turned black, it could remember mazes better, its heart pumped better. In fact, in every way, it became young again. And today, we're starting to understand exactly how this works. So researchers at Harvard have identified GDF11, and additionally, there's a greater understanding that when we're young, we produce nutrients, growth factors that are important for our health, but as we get older, we just don't produce enough of them. And so our idea is to use essentially excess blood from blood banks and to help you restore your levels of these growth factors.
I got some beef jerky in my mouth right now, so that's why if I sound weird, I sound weird. I'm sorry. I just want to say, his breathing was absolutely labored. He's like, how fucking distracting is that?
It was very distracting. If you actually look at the comments, a lot of people were saying that.
Second, he mentioned Jeff Bezos. Didn't we talk about him a few weeks ago?
Yeah. Like, I was actually surprised that he was just like, there's certain companies that are interested, Google, and then he dropped Jeff Bezos' name. I'm just like, what? Why would Amazon be interested in this?
Freaking immortality, man. So, this guy we just watched in this video, of course, his name was Dr. Jesse Karmazin, or however you pronounce it. And you know how much he charges for a liter of young blood?
So much.
$8,000. But hey, you get a deal if you buy 2 liters. It's only $12,000.
Such a good deal.
That's not. I wish that was a joke, but that's not a joke. He seriously does that.
Yeah.
And before he opened up Ambrosia, he had another company that he did the exact same thing, but it was actually in Peru and Ukraine. and he called it X Vitality Sciences, where they practically did the same thing and transfused young blood into older people.
They claimed that there were improvements in people looking younger. Mostly their wrinkles weren't as bad, but the odd part was there was actual no data released with his so-called clinical trials. Just mostly claims by Karmazin himself. Which, a little knowledge nugget here, if you watch that video, he even talks about doing this procedure of transfusing blood, young blood, to older people with using his parents. So he had his parents all hooked up doing this.
Damn.
Yeah. So anyway, he scratched that old company of his. He actually wiped it like clean off of his record. So he had to like dig for it. So I guess he didn't want people to realize he was with that company before, or he started that one.
But Dan, with his skills of digging, he found it. You ain't hiding from us.
Yeah, then he opened up Ambrosia, and that got a lot of fame on the internet because of what they were doing.
Yeah, so Dan, I got to give him credit for this. Even though I'm going to say it, he's the one that figured it out. So in 2019, he had 5 offices in different cities around the United States. But that kind of started a market for American blood, specifically young blood. Because, I mean, it doesn't work unless you had young blood, right?
Yeah.
Young blood. Wasn't he a rapper?
Young Blood.
He was a rapper, right? Young.
I think so. Then there's a 5 Seconds of Summer called Young Blood song.
Young blood. Oh, 5 Seconds of Summer. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a pretty good song.
Yeah, Dominic Richard Harrison, aka Young Blood. Okay. Anyway, sorry. That kind of got me off track. So since everybody, or since there was kind of like a market now for this young blood, it made the FDA send owner of Ambrosia, Karmazin, or however you pronounce his name, kind of like a statement that was kind of like warning, him. They said the FDA has recently become aware of reports of establishments in several states that are offering infusions of plasma from young donors to treat the effects of a variety of conditions. The conditions range from normal aging and memory loss to serious diseases like dementia, Parkinson's, MS, I can't say that name, sorry, Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, or PTSD, like we mentioned earlier. So the FDA was like, hey, we're aware that you're doing this shit. And what did they say after that, Dan?
They said, we have significant public health concerns about the promotion and use of plasma for these purposes. There's no proven clinical benefit of infusion of plasma from young donors to cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent these conditions. And there are risks associated with the use of any plasma product. We strongly discourage consumers from pursuing this therapy outside of clinical trials under appropriate institutional review board and regulatory oversight.
So Ambrosia and their leader got this notice, and they were like, whoa. Okay, then, and they kind of took like an 8-month hiatus. But after looking into it here recently, I think they reopened one of their offices, and that's located in San Francisco. And Dan, didn't you find like a trial or something?
I did find one of their supposed clinical trials, which listed what they were kind of doing, but when you like click it and go to like results, there's nothing. They don't list anything.
Wow, and it was first posted to participants. Young donor plasma transfusion. That's the official title of it. Oh my God. Biomarkers. So they got different biomarkers, meaning that there's different time frames of when they take measurements. Before treatment to 1 month after treatment. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and like I said, you got the study details, the tabular view, which just still lists the same things, but then no results posted. They didn't post anything for results.
Yeah, in the experimental, it says young donor plasma, an infusion of plasma derived from donors aged 25 years or younger.
See, that right there caught my attention too.
Yeah.
25 years or younger. They didn't say 16 to 25.
Yeah, which looks like they're covering their ass. They got a whole bunch of like 6 and 5-year-old blood. 6 and 5-year-olds. Got them given their adrenochrome. to them, and they got like one 25-year-old that they're getting it from, just to kind of cover their ass.
Yeah, and I believe you have to be 30 years old or older to actually, I guess, be welcomed into the office.